Yes, Your Majesty, I realise that we're a little bit over budget, but, the bank balance is looking good, and we're projected to make a profit this season. Well, you could always just give me a bigger budget. Well, why don't you just judge me on results? Actually, you know what? Don't judge me on results. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 here at Queen of the South on the Impossible Dream as we look to win the Champions League with our Scottish team. But today we need to make sure we're staying in the Premiership. We've got 2 games to go towards that. First up, a trip to Celtic. Unlikely we take much from that, but then it is a huge game at home to Dundee United. And when we look at the league table in a second, you will see why that is a very, very important game for us. The big news since last episode continues to be the budget. We are in the black, so despite the doom and gloom of the Queen and being the best part of $2,000 over our wage budget, that's a week, it's not actually going that badly. And if we look at the projection, we're projected at the end of the season to have, it was just 22-23, to have almost $500,000 in the bank. And projected to continue going up from that, obviously, assuming that we don't get relegated. So it is all looking, I think, looking good. If we could just get a little bit more in that wage budget, I would feel a lot better about things. But that is kind of where we're at. And unfortunately, it doesn't look as though it's going to be getting too much better anytime soon because I'm still trying to sign players. And on that note, we do have some new signings to meet. The first one is midfielder Ben Elliott, who was released by Chelsea, and we've snapped him up. Not too much there for right now. What I'm trying to do is get something, because we do have quite an old squad right now. I'm trying to get something of a youth system going for players that could develop into something for us. So potentially he's a very, very good player. If we see the value of him is already quite high, potentially he's on £150 a week. And, I mean, obviously he didn't play for Chelsea. He hasn't played for us as of yet. He probably will get games for us this season, but hopefully they'll just be cup games that we're not too bothered about. So that's the first one there in Ben Elliott. And the second player that we signed is a left-back, Bailey Dahl. Now, we signed him directly from a lower league, Invery Locos. Or Loco, I should say. Now, he is 18. As I say, we haven't paid a fee. There is some add-ons for him, I think. 30% of the next fee goes to the club, and we had to arrange a friendly, but there's not been an actual fee paid for him. Now, what I like about him, again, 18, we're trying to get something of a youth movement going. Physically, he's not bad. He doesn't have much strength about him, but other than that, he's not too bad, and he can tackle. Now, everything else, you can make arguments, isn't great, but I'm hoping anyway. Like, if he doesn't come off, he doesn't come off. He hasn't cost us anything, and we'll just sort of let him go, and 30% of whatever we get will go to his club we got him from. But I think it was worth the risk of. So it's not even a risk. It's on £120 a week. So I just think there's the ups definitely outweighs the downs of this one. So those are the 2 new boys. He's actually just in the under-21s because behind Hendry and De Bayo, I don't expect him to play much this season at all. We have an under-21 squad, by the way. That is something that's happened that is new. So we've been hiring staff for that, which is an extra expense, obviously. And was it this staff or was it the other staff? We do have. Look at some of the coaching staff we have for the under-21s is significantly better than what we have the senior team. So we'll be looking. This guy's not that great, I don't think. But we'll be looking to call some of these guys up into the. We'll sign them up into a first team squad. But if we go to the under-18s coaching staff. A legend of the club has returned. We have signed Stephen Dobby as a coach. Now, he's not a great coach, but he's got he's only on a Continental C license, but he is a club legend. He's in that what's it called, the general screen there where it says all the club legends. So he's back at the club as a coach. We'll try and train him up, and hopefully he becomes a first team coach down the line. But I think it could be good having a club legend back at the club. So that is that. Now, the other thing I wanted to quickly touch on is last season's goal of the season winner. Thank you everybody who voted. The response just generally, views, likes, comments, everything has been incredible to start the series off. So thank you for that. It's really been really, really good. But let's have a look at the goal that you guys voted as the goal of the season. So it was the same goal that the game voted. It was a wonderful strike from Ben Little. I wish we could get him back this season, but here it comes. Ooh, it is a sweet, sweet strike. If you're wondering what happened to Ben Little, he is at Bristol. He was back at his parent club. He signed a new contract there, and unsurprisingly, in League Two, he's playing. I wish we could have got him back again. He wanted, I think it was $3,000 in wages in the end. We just couldn't afford to get him back. But anyway, we do have some other games to catch you up on. The league campaign has continued. We began the catch up when we had a trip to Hibs. Now, we beat them in the cup last year, didn't we? So let's see if we could return that, or do it again, I should say, in the league. We took an early lead when Frook picked out Patendrun. But Hibs were quickly level with a stunning strike. And then took a lead into half-time. Before sealing the win in the second half. So we started well in this one, and then it was just, we just were a little bit outclassed, to be honest. The actual match stats don't look too bad. In fact, we won XG for what's that worth. Aussie villain bingo. But yeah, we tried something a little bit different up front. We tried Tevez as a deep lying forward with Connolly playing in the number 10 as an advanced playmaker. Or was it an attacking midfielder? I can't remember now. One of the two anyway. And Tevez didn't play well. It didn't quite work how I'd hoped. So I haven't binned off the idea completely, but we'll kind of put it on the back burner for now. So a good point to mention as well, Patton. He won the Young Player of the Month for the first season of the league. So really, really good stuff from him. 2 goals that he's got already and doing quite well. And he does have a bit of potential about him as well. Next game was a big one. It was against Livingston. Iakoviti gave us an early lead. And we secured a first Premiership win with a Tevez stunner. Oh, Carlos Tevez, take a bow, back in his number 10 role, and he did really, really well. We deserved this win as well. 20 shots, 9 on target, XG of almost 2, so we sort of matched that up. Goss in midfield had a good, everybody had a good game. The one disappointment is Cochrane. He has had a disappointing start to the season, to be honest, but everybody else around him did really, really well. So a huge win against a team that's expected to be down there with us. And the final game to catch you up on in the league, or just in general, was against St Johnstone. We fell behind early via a deflected strike. And it was 2-0 at half-time. Before Connolly pulled one back in the second half. So this was just one of those games, and we're going to have it from time to time this year, where we just weren't quite good enough. Tevez, Connolly played well. Hendry and Wheater. Iakoviti was a little bit disappointing. Eastwood in goal has had a slow start to the season. Cochrane again. I think we ended up subbing him off and brought on Barron. It just didn't quite happen for us. Now, if we look at what all this means for the league table, right now we're not sitting too badly. We're there in 9th. You suspect Celtic are going to beat us. If we take anything from that game, it's a bonus. That leaves us against Dundee United. And, well, you can see they're only a point back. And if we could get a win in that one, it's huge. That is kind of where we're at. If we can just beat those teams around us, and we should have beaten Dundee. Is that going to come back and haunt us? But we've beaten Livingston. If we can beat those teams around us, then we'll be fine. We should finish sort of 7th, 8th, 9th. It's making sure that we do actually go and win those games, isn't it? Let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here against Celtic, though. And we can see we're expecting a defensively minded 4-3-3. A little bit of respect perhaps coming in. Now, is Ange Postecoglou still their manager? Is this still the battle of the Aussie managers in Scotland? This is the team we're sending out. It's Eastwood in goal. We've had a word to him about his recent form. You can see there he's reacted well to it. It's Hendry, Iakoviti, Wheater and Spittle as the back 4. Farouk Cochrane, who again we've had a word to, and again he's reacted well to it. And Goss in midfield. Tevez, Connolly and Patton. Let's see if we can shock the world. So it is Aussie Ange versus Aussie Villain. We can see their lineup there. Not too many, I don't think. That's not who I'm thinking of. Liam Shaw and Hoghyde from Sheffield Wednesday. Taylor we've had before as well. At Sheffield Wednesday, I think, actually. He's put together the Sheffield Wednesday team from last FM here. What do we want to say to this? There's no pressure on this one, boys. We did look quite nervous in the St Johnstone game. And it looks as though some of that may have carried over to this one, which isn't ideal. That's not what we want. All right, and here we go. This was one of the it's the free hit, isn't it? Really, the Celtic and Rangers away from home, especially, is very much just a free hit. If we get anything from it, it is a massive, massive bonus. I'd like to think at some point this season we'll take at least a point from one of our 8 games against Rangers and Celtic. Is this going to be the game? Well, I mean, time will tell, but it's a bit early in the season, I think. As we gel, we might get a little bit better. And they pass. Oh, Jesus, that's a decent strike from Callum McGregor, isn't it? It wasn't right in the corner, but... Well, that's not what you want happening in the 4th minute of the game, is it? I do worry a little bit. Cochrane, I was really hoping we kind of build a team around him. He's not had a good start to the year. I'll say that and leave it. And I tell you what, Eastwood in goal at times has looked a little below par, shall we say. I don't know if Lewis B is quite ready to step up and play in the Premiership, though. That could be the issue that we run into. But as I said before, this season it's all about we've just got to stay in the league, get the money that we'll get for staying in the league, and we can start and build then. And hopefully, I should say we hopefully will be able to start and build because we'll get a bigger wage budget. There's lots and lots of good players that I'm scouting, or that the scouts are finding, I should say, and we can get a lot of players that are transfer listed elsewhere that will improve us. And dramatically in some cases. The issue that we have is Spittle lets in Fuahashi behind him. The issue that we have is just paying them. We can't afford to pay them, and we've got away with one there. You'll notice that Wheater is in the defensive line. That's because I don't say I've given up on Devlin, but I've certainly relegated him to under-21s football till he gets his act together. The issue we might have with Wheater is the issue that we know we get with Wheater, and that is that he's just slow. So I'm not too far away from giving Olafunwa the start at centre-back. And in fact, looking at him there, he's maybe a player that should be starting. And then what we can do is bring Wheater off the bench just to try and tighten things up. Go, say, we'd probably take out the number 10, actually, and put in a third centre-back to, just tighten things up. Here we go with Spittle, who is doing okay as a right back. I wouldn't say he's setting the world on fire, but Cochrane. He's doing okay. Encourage, we're looking apprehensive and anxious. I mean, this is not what we want, obviously. We need to try and keep morale. Look at Livingston beating Dundee United. That's going to make that game even more important, isn't it? If we can keep the goal difference down, though, we're -2 right now, which is better than those around us. It could be worth an extra point, and we see all the time, don't we, in relegation battles that that extra point can be huge. So, I mean, look at last year. The goal difference was the difference between us being able to draw the last game of the season and go up and not. So, goal difference, it does play a big part. So if we can keep scores down, that would be a good thing. Wheater has missed another header there. Iakoviti, whatever his name is not playing well. I don't want to judge players too harshly against Celtic for match ratings. Let's try demand more, but it's headed the wrong way, isn't it? Apprehensive. If we can just get to half time, we can try and turn it around, and that is not offside, I don't think. I'm hopeful, but I don't think it is. And there is the second goal. We are attacking. I wonder if we just go back to balanced and just try and keep this goal difference down. Iakoviti loses his man. He's only playing a 6-3. It was always going to be tough, wasn't it? He's only just onside. Looks like Iakoviti actually dropped that fraction of a second early, and that's what played him on. Hendry with a throw. Can we get ourselves back into this before half-time? At 3-0, you'd fear for us a little bit in the second half. There's a ball forward. Patton with a flick on for Connolly, but we can't keep possession. And it's all looking a little bit dangerous right now. Can Hendry get a tackle in for us? Can he stop the cross? He does, kind of. He stays with his man quite well there, but they're just pinging it around, aren't they? Eastwood makes the save. All right, let's try exploiting the middle and looking for the overlaps. The middle of the park is where we have Goss and Tevez, who are our best two players. So if we go through there, that makes a little bit of sense. Can Furyk get to that first? I think he can, but that ends the highlight. Can we give them more encouragement? Well, that's fired them up. So they're going to come into half-time on a high, which is, I suppose, a good thing. But we've not been in that. I'm happy with our passing so far. Let's find a positive in that performance. Maybe that works. If they believe it and if they're motivated, I suppose that's a good thing. So we'll get back out there. And I would sign up for 2-0 right now, if I'm completely honest. I was in a similar case in the St Johnstone game, which was the last game, obviously, that we played, whereby it was kind of, you know, if we keep the goal difference down and get out of it, then we ended up getting a goal in the second half, so we only lost sort of 1 on the goal difference. All right, let's take Patton off and let's get Ali Roy on, who hasn't played much, I'll be honest. Just not particularly playing well. Let's give them some more encouragement. Tevez is looking anxious. I mean, this is actually not bad from a defensive point of view. We've limited... I don't think I've seen their shots really go up. So we've done really well. Connolly's not having a great game, so let's get Cassidy on for him. Let's try Cassidy as a pressing forward. I do think we maybe look a little bit better with a pressing forward. Maybe we go deep liar and pressing forward. Cochrane is looking nervous. He's testing my patience, I've got to be honest. He really is. So let's get Barron on. Is that 3 subs that we've made then? Yeah, it will be, won't it? Maybe we should have just gone balanced to start with. I always just kind of go attacking just because. Maybe I need to be a little bit more cautious in what I'm doing as well. But it might be a case of they feel they've got the game won. So why would they change? All right, let's try raising the tempo. See if this does anything for us. Unpausing the game would be useful. But yeah, we've not threatened them, and it looks as though they've, thankfully for us, clocked off in the second half and decided that 2 goals was enough for them. Iacoviti only in the red. Has that change happened? I have a horrible feeling because I haven't been able to do anything here. There we go. We can do a shot now. It's not worth doing because that will be the game. It's been a snooze fest of a second half. And it ticks away into nothing. So we were well and truly smashed. And, I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, we kept them scoreless in the second half. Do we just... Nah. So there we go. We can see the other results there. It could have been worse, couldn't it? Like I say, the sad thing is that... Well, there we go. That can be Ange's birthday present. Saves me a couple of bit of money, doesn't it? Yeah, it is just one of those, I think, where away to Celtic... 2-0 is probably acceptable. Maybe let me know what you guys think of that. But guys, wait right there. The big test is next. It's Dundee United, and we need to avoid defeat, as you can see by the table. Avoid defeat to stay out of the relegation zone. Okay, welcome back. Now, the transfer window has shut, and we have gone a little bit silly on deadline day and loaned in no fewer than 5 players, all of which we didn't have to pay a fee for. So let's have a look at what we've got. First up from Liverpool is Tyler Morton. Again, all these are very, very high potential players, but we needed midfield options. He can play in a few different positions in midfield as well. Good first touch, passing, tackling, technique, vision. He's going to be a decent option for us. No wages paid. Next. It is, if we go down here, it is Salah Olad Mhand from Arsenal, a Dutch midfielder. Again, no wages. And this is a more attacking midfielder. And well, you can see what he is there. A lot of potential. And hopefully, he's going to provide a little bit of cover for the likes of Tevez. You know, if he was to get injured or Connolly wasn't available. He's just, again, just depth options, which is what I think we need. Now, do those go? Some of these guys have optional fees to purchase, which we can't afford anyway. Next up from Brentford is Daniel Ogugoke. This is a bit of cover at, well, centre-back, but primarily at right down that right-hand side for us as a wing-back. Decent crossing, decent dribbling, not too bad physically. Again, loads of potential. Can tackle, Can't really pass, but that's okay. As long as he can cross and dribble, he'll get away with it. 19-year-old Nigerian defender. So that is Denio. Next up, it is Connor Bradley on loan from Liverpool. Now, he is a right-sided attacking player. Now, he has signed injured for us, so he's not going to be available for a little while. But again, we're not paying any wages or any fees or anything. And just another player that can go up and down that right-hand side for us. He's got good stamina. He's pretty pacey. Again, can cross and dribble and tackle and pass and all those sorts of things. So it's just, again, options and depth for us. Next up is now someone that will be familiar if you've been with us for a while, Daniel Williams, who we signed, I believe, at Barla Town on the Impossible Dream. We've got him on loan from Swansea. Very, very excited about this guy. He is already at the level that we need him to be. And well, I think he's going to do well. He did well for us at Barla Town, and I suspect he'll do well for us here as well. He has played in the Championship. That looks like Swansea got relegated. And like I say, to get him for absolutely nothing, that is, well, that's brilliant is what it is. Absolutely brilliant. So that is our deadline day, and it does make the squad look a little bit healthier now, which is good news for us. Let's have a look and see what we're doing here. It is Dundee United, of course. We are expecting the same sort of thing that Celtic played against us, and this is the team that we are sending out. It is Eastwood in goal. It's Hendry Iafogotti, almost. Olafunwa is going to come in and play centre-back with Spittle at right-back. You'll notice Spittle is more comfortable playing in this role now, so that is good. We'll keep him going in that position. Goss is going to drop back and be a deep-lying playmaker as opposed to a half-back. Furyk is going to move forward. He's going to be a Mazzella next to Williams, who will be making a debut here. Tevez will continue, and then we're going back to last season's duo, Roy and Cassidy up top, and hope that they can find some goals for us. Okay, so we can see their team sheets there. Tony Watt, he was at, I think it might be the guy. He was the guy, I think, for Celtic that scored against Barcelona. I don't know why I remember that, but I always seem to remember that. Tom Ince is there. Wow, how the mighty have fallen. Remember when he was getting linked with England call-ups? All right, what do you want to say to this? Put this poor run of form to end. Go out there and enjoy yourselves today, boys. Let's not put pressure on you. You've looked nervous recently. We have just come back from an international break as well, so they've had a week off. And yeah, this is big, a home game for us as well. These are the ones we have to win, aren't they? If Celtic was a bit of a free hit, this is the direct opposite of that. This is the game we have to win if we want to stay in the league and stay in the league, hopefully without any more grey hairs. Nothing to report as of yet. Yeah, let me know what you think of the deadline day business. I just kind of went, as much as anything, to the shortlist to see if there was anybody available for loan that we wouldn't have to pay for. And players that the bigger English clubs had listed for loan that previously they wanted us to pay their wage, I think they just wanted them out playing. And there's not much happening here at all, is there? What have we got for... Still got key highlights on, but so the standard that we're playing at is making us look a little bit poorer, perhaps. Yeah, well, here we go. We've got a highlight. Spittle with a throw down to Roy. Roy just he looks a different player, doesn't it? We've got Ali Roy's twin. We've got I don't know, Dally Roy or something. I think I don't know who that is. Here we go with Hendry. Now their weakness in the match report preview, one of the scouting reports, was they're weak from crosses. So hopefully, that's why we went with Ali Roy. And then I thought, well, let's stick Cassidy up there with him since they have a link up. Here we go with Hendry. Gets the crossing towards Ali Roy. It goes through for Spittle. Can he get a second ball in? He takes his time. He does dig out a cross. It goes back for Goss to Williams. Cross there for Hendry. Can he pull one back now? Come on, Hendry. He goes back to Furyk, to Hendry. Hendry to Furyk. Somebody do something. It's Tevez. Tevez turns. Tevez draws a good save. It's still there, and it's Williams. Daniel Williams on debut gets a goal. In the 23rd minute, we go 1-0 up, and, well, that was where Harry Cochrane was playing. Would Harry Cochrane have done a similar thing? Well, we don't know, do we? But Tevez unlucky. Anywhere else, that's a goal. Goalkeeper's made two really good saves there, and in the end, Williams really couldn't miss, could he? And that is a 1-0 lead in this huge, huge game. St Mirren getting a pounding from Rangers. That can only be a good thing for us. And suddenly we're in mid-table. This is the thing, isn't it? Is that disappointing Celtic results. We are going to have disappointing games this season. But if we can win our games against those teams around us, pick up, the odd win here and there elsewhere, we are going to be We are going to be okay, but it's making sure we get the results in the games that we need to get the results in. That's what'll keep us clear of any sort of relegation trouble. And there's a shot from distance, but it's over the top. Let's tell them to focus. Come on, boys. It hasn't been a great game, a classic game as a spectacle, but that's okay. As long as we get the result. Here we go. Spittle again. Can he get a cross in? He can. It's back post. It's Roy, and Ali Roy. Was that it? Hit the crossbar. That's unlucky. Why would we bring Wheater on to play left wing back? He has a bruised shin, does old... well, what we would do, I guess, is they want Iacovitti to go over to play left back, which is what we would do. And that's hit the inside of the post, and it's gone over. Eastwood has... Well, he's kept us in front late in the first half there. I mean, a bruised shin should be fine, shouldn't it? Let's not make a change for that. We don't want to get complacent here. Spittle is looking demotivated, so let's deal with that first. Let's outstretch our arms and say you have been the best player on the planet for that 45 minutes. And then we can... Nobody else is demotivated, are they? Then we can go back and just do our usual, we got faith in you. And get back out there for a massive 45 minutes. Hendry's looking apprehensive. Is that the bruise talking, Hendry? Goss does well to win it. Then gives it away. Of course he does. Come on, boys. Work hard. Get this ball back. Olafunwa goes across. He's out of position. Ball in. It's won by Iacovitti. And still Dundee United come forward. Can Hendry stop the cross coming in? He does a decent job. Farouk can't win it back, though. Come on, Eastwood. Make the save, mate. Make the save. Oh, he goes the right way, but he can't keep it out. And it's 1-1. This is very similar to the Dundee game, wasn't it? The first game of the season. I think they scored just after half-time as well. Maybe don't get complacent isn't the thing to say to this team. Let's encourage them. Hendry's now looking apprehensive, and you wonder if it was an apprehensive tackle that led to the foul. If we make a change, it has to be Iacovitti that goes over to play left back. And I mean, is that really what we want to be doing? Hendry is the better player in that position. Furyk gets the cross into Roy. Ali Roy is onside, and Ali Roy gets himself a Premiership goal, and we're back in front. It's 2-1. And last season's Player of the Year finally shows up in the Premiership. Furyk did really well, didn't he? Turned into space, whipped the cross in, and... Well, that's what the pre-game report said. They were weak from crosses, and we've exploited that there beautifully. Hendry's still looking apprehensive. Hendry, get some confidence, man. We've actually been, well, arguably outplayed here. It's certainly been an even game. Tevez isn't having a great time of things. I wonder, Adebayo, is that the Adebayo that we had at Walsall? I wonder. Anyway, let's keep praising. Hendry with a throw to Cassidy, down to Furyk. Goss. This midfield trio, it seems to work. I mean, it's difficult to say comparing it to Celtic, but just this team in general. I think Olafunwa we look a better team, I think, with him there rather than Wheater, don't we? Certainly compared to the games I was watching off camera. We look a little bit of a more balanced team, and I'm really pleased to get that extra depth in. I think it gives us options as much as anything. Goss! Unlucky from distance. You know, now if someone like Cochrane isn't playing well, we can take him off and we have an actual decent option to bring on. All right. We're getting towards the point now where I think we start and close this down. We bring Wheater on for Tevez. Vice-captain for captain. Just put you back as a no-nonsense in the middle of that defence. We'll need to sit a little bit deeper now. But that's fine because he's just going to be there to head anything away for us. Come on, boys. Come on. Surprisingly, they've looked to shut up shop as well. Cassidy is tied. We could do a nice time waster here. Let's get... All right, let's get Connolly on. And with a booking in midfield, let's take Goss off for... Let's get Morton on for a debut, perhaps. Yeah. And we're running the clock down. All right, let's close it down now. All right, let's pray. And come on, there it is. A huge 3 points. And, well, that's gone quite well. Look at that. Oh, they had a penalty, didn't they? Yeah, so that explains the the XG jump there. You take that away, and obviously it's you can't just remove that from the game. But outside of that, their XG was quite low, wasn't it? So I think that's a very positive result for us. That was really good. So there we go. We can see with that result, suddenly we're in mid-table, 3 points outside of Europe. So what are we worried about? But yeah, we're very much still looking down, aren't we? It's a 4-point gap. And, with, St Mirren, Aberdeen, Motherwell, I think we all have to play in the relatively near future. We've already played Hibs, St Johnstone, and Celtic. So we've played Livingston as well. And we beat Livingston. So, we're not doing too bad. The new players start coming in and gelling, and it could be a very, very decent season for us from here. But that will do it for today. Quick look at the dynamics in case you're interested. It's all looking fine. The hierarchy is okay. We're getting, look at that managerial support growing, which is excellent. And the social groups, despite the number of signings, is looking not too bad as well. So that's it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the deadline day spree. I think it was necessary, and I think we've done well. Now, this is the season, of course, with the Winter World Cup, so that means we will come back for Rangers away, which is the free hit, and then Dundee away, which is a must-win. I know it's the second time we've seen Dundee, but that will then take us through to the Winter World Cup, and we can come back after that and continue on with our season. So that's all for next time, guys. Until then, Open Aussie Villain, thank you so much for watching. Take care.